We want to bring your attention now to some other big deals agreed this past week, starting off with the largest deal in the history of the semiconductor industry. And yes, I know you're probably wondering why we should care about that, but semiconductors actually have a big impact on society and our daily lives. You'll find them at the heart of most electrical devices. And so now we have Qualcomm, which makes the electronic chips that run most of the world's smartphones, buying up a company called NXP in a $47 billion deal. Now, NXP has a big presence in the car industry, so it seems the two firms want to be a big player in that market for connected cars and the Internet of Things devices, two things which we've actually looked at quite a bit recently on Counting the Cost. Speaking of connected cars, it seems Apple has decided not to get into the automotive industry. There have been reports recently that what was known as Project Titan, the so-called Apple car, is now no more. However, at the same time, another company, Lynk and Co, which is part of the Volvo group, launched its brand, which focuses on smart and connected cars. David Green is the Chief Digital Officer at Lynk and Co. And firstly, I'm interested in your title, David, because I haven't come across a Chief Digital Officer in an auto company before, and I'm guessing that's just an indication of the direction the business is taking.
Absolutely, yes. And it's central to the brand. We're doing something very different. I mean, you can see behind me we've got a car. What you can't see behind me is the digital platform that we're building around the car. A platform much more like a smartphone concept, where we'll be able to build digital services on the car and the connectivity of the car.
So tell me more about what that means, because I've heard plenty about connected cars, but you're talking about operating like a smartphone and building on that theory. Tell me how that will work.
Exactly. Well, if you think of the elements of a car, inside the car you have a touchscreen, like a mobile phone. You have, in this car, full connectivity. So the car is connected whether you're in it with your smartphone or whether you're outside it. And those two elements together make an ecosystem. And that ecosystem can be used to create services for the car when you're driving it and when it's left when you're not. I'll give you an example. We'll launch this car with a thing we're calling share mode. Share mode, when you leave the car, you can press a button in the car and publish it for your friends and colleagues. They can see the car on their smartphone and they can ask you whether they can borrow it, and without you having to be there to hand over keys, they can pick it up. And this is a way to extend the car. Cars normally sit around for most of the time unused.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked the boss of SEAT Cars, the Spanish automaker, because we were talking about connected cars a few weeks ago, and my concern, I guess, was that do we really need all of this in a car? A car is a very functional thing. It gets us from A to B, and once you start building in distractions like this, remembering we already have our smartphones glued to our hands anyway, once you build in all these elements, I question, is it necessary, and is it actually, or could it actually create a safety issue of some sort?
I think maybe the problem that you're talking about is when you try to introduce a smartphone into the car. But when you build the connectivity into the car itself, you can think about the user interaction and how to craft that and make it relevant for the car space. I mean, the connectivity itself can actually make the driving experience better. It can help guide you to the next traffic light as they change to a different color. It can help you avoid traffic jams. It can predict accidents. There's all sorts of things that we can do with the connectivity. But the connectivity doesn't just stop when the car is driving. As I said, when you leave and walk away from the car, you can still control the car from your smartphone. You can use it as a platform for innovation, lend it out to other people, or have things delivered to it.
So this sounds like it's part of, and again, we talked about this recently on our show, the sharing economy, as they call it, the Ubers and the Lyfts and the Airbnbs, etc. Are you building on that?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talk about the sharing economy, but it's a tangible thing. It's really, really part of the modern society. And interestingly, if you think about it, the car is one of the most expensive items that we've got, but at the same time, it just sits there doing nothing for most of the time. So not everyone will want to share their brand new car, but by building in this functionality at different times during the life cycle of the car, it can be activated. So out of the box, maybe the car can be used just as a test drive car from a dealership. Maybe you wouldn't want to share your brand new car, but when it gets a little bit older, maybe you could monetize it and rent it out to other people. Or it could be part of maybe an apartment block where everybody collects together and they have less than one car each, but use them in a shared environment. These things are tangible, making better uses of our resources.
All right, here's the kicker, because this all sounds very expensive. You know, you've got a lovely new car behind you there, but is it going to be out of the reach of most people?
That's not our intention at all, no. I mean, the way that this car has been engineered is quite revolutionary, but it is a premium car, I admit. However, with leveraging a digital platform and a new business model, we'll be able to bring it to market at a mass market price.
Okay. Just finally, this is something my editor just alerted me to. It's almost like you've got the jump on the big guys here. You know how long there's been rumors of an iCar or an Apple car or something like that. Seems to me like you've started down this road earlier than them.
Yeah, we had a huge advantage. We've got the sort of a big engineering effort behind us, a great deal of car experience, and we brought in people to do the digital platform as well. We've worked with a number of the big tech companies. We worked with Ericsson to build the connected car platform, and we're working with Microsoft and Alibaba to put together the unified commercial platform as well. So it really is a collaborative brand. As you can see from the name, it's a very unusual name for a car brand. The and Co really does mean something. It is collaboration both with technology companies and as a platform for innovation from third parties.
David Green from Lynk and Co. Very interesting talking to you about this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. It's been good talking to you.